I wanted to share some inspiration for all the fellow aging athletes out there, or anybody who wants to stay active as they get older, especially if you're like me and you find endurance events a little bit boring, because I'm feeling fired up, inspired at the moment, and I think for three reasons. First, if I ask you to name a famous Kim, you'll probably say Kardashian or Jong-un, and I want to rectify that with a far more deserving Kim. Second, I was looking up the Masters Athletics records yesterday. That's the older age categories. And some of these races are on YouTube. These people are amazing. You have 60 and 70-year-olds running 12-second 100 meters, which according to some casual Googling I've just done, is faster than most average people in their 20s. The oldest people on the male and female list, they're both 105 years old. Genuinely, I've drawn so much inspiration from these people, so much so that I was out this morning doing sprint reps in the park. I posted up the other day, I found my old athletic spikes. They're 25 years old. So I dusted them off and got training. They're still in pretty good nick, actually. And my third reason is the Athletics World Championships just wrapped up last week. It was a great championships. GB Great Britain had a bit of a stinker, but I really enjoyed it, especially watching the fantastic Tokyo crowd in the stadium after the sad spectacle of their Olympics being run to empty seats because of the pandemic. And I saw a true icon of the sport bow out at the age of 38. And this made me think about longevity. Now, longevity medicine is a big buzzword in wellness circles these days, but while 95% of the science that people promote is complete poppycock, there's something amazing about athletes still mixing it with the best as they get older, whether it's Djokovic or Ronaldo or LeBron, or in the athletics case, the Jamaican pocket rocket, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, the greatest female sprinter of all time. And I think probably the most decorated sprinter of all time, somebody fact-check me, who took time out, became a mum, came back, and at the age of 38 came sixth in the world, which is incredible. I thought I'd share a couple of my favourite Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price moments. The first was in 2019, which I actually watched live in the stadium at the London Grand Prix, where she gets the baton for the home leg of the 4x1 way behind Great Britain, level with China, and just eats up the track against Daryl Neita, who herself is a world medalist.
Daryl Neita's going to have Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price chasing her. China not too far away. But can Britain hold on? Look at Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price like a steam train, express train, gets it on the line. She looks as though she's just been for a stroll in the park.
You may have seen the next clip because it kind of went viral last year when Shelly-Ann annihilated the other mums at the school sports day for her son in Jamaica. And as someone who last year marked the first time I lost the dad's race at school sports day, which I take way too seriously, I hasten to add to a guy about 15 years my junior, and it was a very close second. I would have got him if I just had a few more. Now, this is not the point of this video, but big up to the short kings and queens, because Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price is 5'0" or 152 centimeters tall, and she is the GOAT. And the winner of the men's 100 meters, the fastest man in the world at the moment, Oblique Seville, also Jamaican, is my height, 5'7" or 170 centimeters. Now, I'm not the world's fastest man, but I'm damn sure going to bask in his admittedly quite small shadow. But Shelly-Ann's amazing, almost 2-decade-long career at the very top of one of the most explosive sports there is. For reference, she's almost the same age as Usain Bolt, her compatriot, who has been retired for 8 or 9 years, made me think of one of my favourite sprinters of all time, Kim Collins. Now, if you've not heard of Collins, he was from the tiny island nation of St. Kitts and Nevis, and for years he kind of ran under the radar. He was a world-class sprinter, but he was rarely at the very top. He was never that fast, but he was consistent. And in 2003, he peaked at the right time that year when he won the 100 meters World Championship in one of the slowest times on record. Side note, there had been a big clampdown on drugs around that time, and many of his quicker opponents suddenly became slower. Weird, huh? I remember watching that and feeling elated, because as a skinny youth sprinter, he was by far the skinniest guy in the lineup. When he became the fastest man in the world, then we started learning things as attention was on him, and amazingly, he said in interviews that he often just couldn't be bothered to train. He'd often text his coach in the morning and say he wasn't in the mood, and that was quite a lot of the time apparently. He said he'd preferred going out drinking, dancing, and partying on the beautiful island where he lives, and who can blame him? It sounds better than working hard. He said working hard was something he just didn't enjoy doing. And my favorite quote was about 1996. I think he said he went into a weights room, decided, nah, this is not for me, and never did weights again. As a sprinter, that is unheard of. He said he also wasn't a fan of special diets and didn't even drink protein shakes. Hilariously, his reason for avoiding drugs was that he'd heard performance-enhancing drugs would shrink his wedding tackle and said, I can't afford that. Refreshing honesty, Kim. I know exactly how you feel. Wait, Collins had an amazing, long career spanning 10 World Championships and 5 Olympics, and he won 5 world medals. But while all of that makes me a fan, the reason he inspires me today is that in his late 30s, he started getting faster. So what changed? He finally started doing weights. He finally decided to listen to his personal trainer wife and set his fastest ever times at the age of 40. Kim Collins set his PB of 9:93 for the 100 meters. He's the only man over 40 to run a sub-10 100. And that makes me happy. I'm already over 40, and people my age, especially in the medical profession, seem to gravitate to these endurance events. And while I've enjoyed Tough Mudders and Spartans and kind of the obstacle course, triathlons and Ironmen and marathons are just not for me. So I've got a new target. Masters Sprinter. I don't know if I'll be the fastest 50-year-old in a few years' time, but I'm going to try. And perhaps that's why I'm posting this video, to commit to it. Let's see if I can keep the plyometrics and sprinting going until I am too 105 years old.
All right, here we go, here we go! Here we go, here we go!
Keep running, and I'm going to keep running as long as I can. I find it fun. I like doing it.